I hope all of you are having a happy holidays, I guess, or this is probably going to go up in the morning. I'm not feeling too good. Anyways, more you wanted this, here we go. Happy holidays, everyone. Anyways, Izuku is currently trying to push the thing up while it's kind of dissecting him with its look. It was very creepy for Izuku. His paranoia got to him and he thought it was gonna attack him in his weak points, which were obviously his eyes. They weren't covered, they were the easiest part to get to, maybe his neck. Oh god. So with all he could, he picked the thing up and pinned it against a wall of metal. The clanging reverberated around them. They could hear faint clicking. The creature appeared to be gesturing for them to be quiet, with a finger up to its lips. Not even a breath escaped their lips. But despite that, something went out. It didn't have any eyes. Its mouth was full of razor-sharp teeth. It walked on all fours and looked vaguely humanoid. Its skin was ashy, but at the same time there was a hint of red or orange. And it seemed to be making that odd clicking noise. What could it be? Echolocation? That would explain why it didn't have eyes and most likely relied on its sight, smell, and touch. Also hearing, although it didn't seem to have ears, so Izuku wondered where that came from. Or if it actually heard at all, but it had to if it had reacted to that. Or possibly even the tremors in the metal. So many possibilities, and yet Izuku didn't know which was the right one. But it seemed to make the clicking noise again, and sniffed the air a little bit, and it turned towards Izuku. It looked to cower a little bit, as if it were afraid, and then it crawled back where it came from. After a solid few seconds of waiting, and Izuku making sure that no one was there, he said in a hushed tone, "You're human." He didn't let up, though. He still pressed a little bit harder on the person's throat. Now knowing that it was human actually made Izuku more scared. Because who could survive with those things nearby? One of Izuku's men was almost killed by it if Bago hadn't stepped in. I mean, Izuku would have stepped in himself, but he was actually a little bit proud of Bakugo, which was a new feeling. But he was still extremely cautious, and kind of scared. He looked a little bit constipated. Explain. The insane ramblings started making sense after a little bit. So let me get this straight. You were just here, and then, poof, they came, and they attacked you, and you hid. Why aren't you talking? Because if I do, then they'll come after me, and this is the most that we can talk. But luckily, the sand will hush our footsteps, so if you follow me, I'll take you to my lab where I keep all my babies. I'm sorry, what? What do you mean, babies? Oh, you see, what I mean is my creations. They're all my babies. Slightly less concerning. We came here for resources. We'll get out of your inky hair after we're done, octopus lady. Or person. I'm sorry, what are your pronouns? Don't care. Now come on. Okay. They're scared of you. Why is that? I don't know. We killed one of them. Oh, no, there are about a lot of them. I'm not sure the exact number. I know it's more than 40. More than 40? They can easily take us down. They outnumber us. Even our entire group. Well, it's fine. Come on. Fine. Okay. Come on, everyone. Izuku gestured for all of them to follow. They were forced to walk on the sand, avoiding anything that could make sudden sound, because apparently those things located by echolocation. Still curious why they didn't attack you. Come on. as they crawl into a little hole in the ground, as there's kind of like an igloo, if I'm gonna be honest, only made out of metal. Okay, we shouldn't be able to talk normally. Well, slightly above, you know? Still, so, why didn't they attack you?
Well, it's obvious Deku's threatening as shit.
Oh wow, don't have to make me sound like a monster. Oh, you are one! Look what you did to that friggin', well, invisible thing. They're camas.
Kamas, whatever.
Do you really have to come up with names for all of these? And I'm gonna call those clickers.
I-
You're stupid. I know. So, is that why?
I mean, that thing killed 5 of our people. And Deku took it down single-handedly.
I had a knife. It was a lot easier than with one of those spears. Which is why I came here, actually. We need to grab a lot of scrap metal, pointy bits, so we can attach them to the ends.
Deku.
Come on. No. But look at those things.
We can't. We'll make too much noise.
Fine, then you guys grab stuff while I distract them. You'll make it back, and, well, without me, I'll probably die gruesomely. Hey, you mind listening? Sorry. What's up? You have that weird goo on you. The Kama's mucus. It came out of one of these specific organs, actually. So, yeah. Can I see? Can I have? Why? Izuku clutched it close to his chest. Experiments. It'll help. I want to make a baby with it. Oh, it'll be cool. I can make an invisibility ray or something. That or reactivate its ability to make things invisible after covering it. Ooh, maybe you could recharge it. Is it like a battery-based system? Oh, just thinking about it gets me all excited and hyper.
Seems like you're a bit crazy.
Shut up. Izuku picked up a piece of scrap metal and attached it to his spear. Okay, thank you. But we can't stay. I would offer to bring you with us, but you seem quite content with your metal igloo and all of your babies. Oh, I wouldn't suggest that. Now they're worried. The only thing that can really stun them is a large frequency. And you know this how? One of my babies can do it, although it's running out of battery. Maybe one good charge left. Oh well. You know, they have these little things. I like to call them cores, because they're filled with energy and stuff that their bodies use for their little special abilities. Special abilities? Yeah, you know, like, what do you call them? Kamas. Yeah, those. They use the ones in their hearts in order to charge the goo. At least I'm assuming, because most of these things actually pack quite a kick. And what you call it? Clickers. Yeah, they allow a sonic screech whenever frightened. Only it's only really effective if, like, 10 or more of them are doing it at once. Kind of like a sonic boom. Okay. All this is very valuable information, but that doesn't really change my mind. As long as my group gets to stay alive for a little bit longer, one life, which is mine, is one I'm willing to pay. Okay. Wouldn't advise it, though. You know they won't fall for the little trick of you pretending to be, what's it called? A Kama? Yeah. I wasn't really banking on it. I was just planning on holding them off for as long as I could, then maybe dying. Honestly, as long as, well, they get to live, I don't really care. Huh, neat. Well, anyways, have fun. You know, if I die, they're gonna need a new member. You mind filling my role? No. Oh, why not? I'm happy here. Plus, with some of those dead, I can distract their cores from their heads. And those things power this baby. When you say baby, do you mean yes both ways? Is that the... Mm-hmm. So it lets out the frequency. Yep. Not enough for human ears to actually hear, but Loud enough to basically boggle their minds for, I'd like to say, 30 seconds. Running out of battery, though. Haven't got one of those cores yet.
We killed one of those earlier. If the core isn't destroyed in its head, you think we could maybe use it in exchange for your services, and you can use as many cores as we gather to make more babies?
Interesting. Will also ensure your safety and food. Okay, deal. Okay, great. You know, thanks to this new partnership, you should stay the night.
Why is that?
They're nocturnal.
They'll probably get to the body before we do.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that we're gonna have to kill another one.
They don't bury the dead, they just eat them.
Cannibalism?
Cannibalism. So just stay here.
Fine. We'll stay here for the night. We'll take shifts, as per usual.
Oh no, it's fine. They don't come here. I never leave a trace. Why do you think I'm covered in all this?
You're covered in cuts too. We should treat those actually.
No, I'm good.
They'll get infected.
Good. You might have tetanus. I'm good. God damn it, let me treat your wounds.
Deku?
What? It's taking care of an investment. Think of it like that.
No, Deku, we don't have any medical supplies. Yes, we do. We left them at camp.
Right.
Forgot. Yeah.
Crap.
Well, we can't leave her like that. I have my sewing kit. Why do you have a sewing kit?
To sew stuff.
I'm great at patchwork. What are you gonna do? Stitch her wounds?
Yes. Now get over here. Nope. I much prefer working on my babies.
God, it's like looking in a distorted mirror, isn't it?
What do you mean?
You... Okay, where do I start? Both of you neglect your health and sleep just to get to your, I want to say, oddly creepy obsession.
What's oddly creepy about wanting to survive? And what's so wrong about wanting to make babies?
No, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just building on the same obsession. The fire in your eyes. I think it's what makes both you great at surviving in this type of place. Your sheer drive to do what you want, to reach your goal, that no matter what pain is caused, you'll still achieve it full force. Ugh, you're making it sound so noble and heroic. It's just survival. Survival for a reason, but survival nonetheless. I survive for the sake of my entire group. She survives on the sole purpose of making babies.
Mm-hmm. My little tiny babies. By the way, you mind handing me the 42 wrench?
There isn't a 42. There's a 4 and 2. Or like 4 over 2.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Anyways, like I was saying, I surely just want to survive so I can make sure that all of you dumbasses can get to UA and have a safe zone.
Oh, UA?
Yeah?
You know, I can make a faster mode of transportation if we had a car.
Too loud.
Fair enough. By the way, I have a question.
Yeah?
Why are you still up? I'll take first night watch if you don't mind.
Because knowing you from what very little I know, you'll probably stay up all night like I do.
Oh, please, I can get the bare minimum of 5 hours of sleep.
Oh my god. Is this what it's like from the outside? Yeah, creepy. I have to start taking better care of myself. Yeah. Eat properly. I eat enough. You maintain muscle mass, dude. That's about it. So?
Oh, by the way, while we're here, I want to fill a thing of salt water so we can boil it later, and have something to, you know, help shove down the bad food.
A what?
Salt makes a lot of things palatable. You know, animals get addicted to licking humans because our sweat tastes salty.
What? Ew.
Yeah, odd thing. As Zuko actually starts rummaging around her place too, grabbing a thing of chain and a ball and wrapping it around it, along with some scattered pieces of clothing, and make some what's called slings. Yeah, slings, and grab some rocks too.
What are you doing?
Slings with enough force it can crack a human skull.
What? Deku, you were disturbing.
I know. Ooh, by the way, quick question. I haven't eaten in like 3 days. Got anything? You can have my portion. Not like I was gonna eat anything anyways.
Deku, no. She can have some of your portion, she can have some of mine. We gotta keep up our strength. You're our most valuable asset.
Where the hell is this coming from?
I've seen what you can do. You took down that Kama fast. You grabbed onto its horn and stabbed it in the eye. You were hanging on for dear life and you saved us. You saved all 32 of us.
What do you mean 32?
I'm including you in the mix.
Right.
Because you are a factor. You do matter.
Where's this coming from?
When I realized that you were more hardened and battle ready than I could ever be in this horrifying situation, you kind of became my hero.
Oh, don't start with this bullshit.
No. Not what I meant. Like, it was amazing to me, you know? Through sheer tenacity and force of will, like with the sludge villain, you managed to survive and bring most of us through. It's only been like 2, maybe 3 days, but you already took in charge and they respect you. You boosted their morale, given them hope.
I'm a soldier. I'm not a hero.
You keep saying that, but look at how you act. Look at what you've done for them. You've given them hope, you've ensured their survival. They're waiting for you back at our camp. They're waiting for you back home.
Home? Their home will be UA.
Their home? Deku? Their home? I mean, come on. You're part of this group too.
Why do you even care?
Because I care for you. Listen, man, you're like a brother to me. You are my brother.
No, I'm not. If you haven't forgotten, I'm just a kid who lost his dad. And I should probably take a swan dive off a roof.
I didn't mean it. You know I didn't mean it.
But you still said it.
I thought it was with witty banter and whatnot.
You insulted my father.
No, I didn't.
You told me to be with him.
I didn't mean.
You told me to take that goddamn plunge off the roof. I was tipping you over the edge and smiled. But underneath, I hated the fact that I had to do that. I hated that you said that.
Does it really take this to bring out your true emotions?
Yes, because despite what all them think, despite me being all cheery, I freak out underneath. I'm scared. My body trembles, and sometimes I act before I even know what to do. My body moves like it's on autopilot, like it's possessed. It's horrifying. And somehow, throughout all of it, I still survive. I don't know how. I don't know why I don't know why no one else has the ability to do this. Or why it's just me, of all people. In my opinion, you would make a better leader. Your quirks your quirk's ability, your quirk's sheer versatility in all these situations. You could create a loud enough boom in order to attract them and then lead them away. You could throw rocks hitting metal. You could do so much, but I'm the one they look to. I'm the one that they always look for advice to survive, all the knowledge, what to do. I'm, for some reason, their leader. And after that, Bakugo looked at him. He didn't know that it took so much out of Izuku to stay calm. He was freaking out. He was letting out all his grievances. Because he trusted Bakugo. He admired him. Despite everything that they've said and done to each other, they were friends. Kind of. They were like siblings. You know how you say it the most rancid shit to them, and the next day you just say hi in the hallway or in the morning at breakfast. They were brothers. Bakugo didn't know it took so much out of him to be that way, to be the smartass that always smiled and lightened the mood. Sorry. I'm sorry, Deku. It's not good enough. Listen, Izuku brings out something. A notebook. This has all my notes. Everything recapped. If I die, I want you to use it. I want you to be their leader. I can't. Yes, you can. And you will. I don't have your sheer drive. Your ability. Come on, Deku. Look at me. I nearly puked when I first saw that corpse. And you made one yourself. You plunged that spear into the back of that thing's skull. Right where I told you, where the spinal cord and the skull connect. You hit it in its brain. That was a fluke. I can't do it, Deku. Not without you. Not without what you can do. Please. Stay alive for them and me and your mom. That's right. His mother. Zuko completely forgot about her, actually. Through all of this planning, all of his preparation, he forgot about his mom. It wasn't like, oh, he was having too much fun. No, he was too worried to think about anything else but survival and future plans, and spending way too much energy looking cheerful and trying to be happy. Bakugo noticed it before and made a passing remark, and Deku just played it off like he always did. But he couldn't do that now. It took too much out of him to be that way. And he knew that Bakugo was right. Without him, they probably wouldn't survive much longer. Maybe a few more days. Sugu had the knowledge of the surrounding areas, the pathways, and, well, just the general know-how on how to survive. He was the equivalent of their savior. And he didn't want to accept it because who would ever want that title? So many lives in their hands. His father was a savior. He saved so many in, well, war times, or I guess on the field of battle. And look where that got him. Dead. Izuku shook that thought away immediately as it entered his head. He was questioning his father. He was thinking how stupid it was to throw your own life away when you could save so many. But was he any better? He was throwing his life away just for a few more days on everyone else's. Was that really a good thing? Was that really the best choice? Wouldn't it be better to just let someone else take it so he could live on and lead the others? It was a dark thought. He was starting to prioritize his own survival, his own needs. It was unnatural for him, but it was only logical, right? Well, that didn't matter at the moment. Isuku looked at him and just told him, just in case, alright? I don't want you guys to be lost. It should have all I found out about the creatures in there and a few notes on evolution. So, here's to hopefully getting everything done.
Right.
Alright, Deku, you can sleep now. Right. Isuku took a comfy corner away from the door, or the entrance, and slept. It was nice.
Hey, son. You know you're turning me a lot.
Really weird that you're talking to a dead man. Hey, Dad. Why so glum, chum? Is it weird that I'm starting to prioritize my own survival? Nah. It's perfectly logical. I mean, with your knowledge, you're basically an invaluable asset. If you were to die, they'd be screwed. But would they? I mean, as long as they have the knowledge and the know-how. Izuku, they don't have your sheer skill, your tenacity, your drive. You're incredible. Don't sell yourself short. No matter what they say, you're still you. You're Izuku Midoriya. And you're the son of Zashi Midoriya, the Marine. And I feel like you'll be a great one too. A Marine? No. A hero. Bullshit! Oh, come on! No, I'm not being a hero. I'm not being that shit. You can't make me. But they see you as one. I don't care. I'm not gonna be some shiny, smiling figure that they can turn to. Oh, says the man who most literally always puts on the front. So what? You suggest I be more cynical, more real with them? Do what you want, if I'm gonna be honest. It's your choice. It's your squad. You're the leader. You choose. Right. Isn't this normally a time where you tell me to wake up? Oh, yeah. By the way, you're getting attacked. What? What happened? Deku, are you okay? They hit you in the chest. Who? Two dead. What? Who? I don't know. Alright? But I think they were checked to a little screen match. Really? I knew we shouldn't have that conversation. Oh, I'm sorry, you want to be more emotionally stunted and leave us all for dead? How would me leaving you all for dead be? You know what? Never mind. Okay, who's still alive? The newbie and I don't know where the other two went. Two? Yeah, remember? Right. Okay, so, oh, man. What happened? They came in here, they dug. They heard our breathing. How? Our screaming match. They went underground. Why didn't they? You were covered in that shit. What? You see, the newbie
made the thing explode towards them, and, well, it scattered them, but it also threw all that goop on us. Okay. Where's the newbie? She's kind of over there fidgeting with something. Hi. What's the situation?
Too dead. I'm currently working on something. I'm amping up the volume on this thing, and hopefully it'll mess with their brains more.
Isn't it like a specific frequency?
No. I just want to make their ears bleed. What? By destroying their eardrums, I take away their most valuable asset.
Smart idea.
But how long will that take? Well, I was working on it for a few hours while working on my other thing, but I don't know. Maybe a few more minutes?
I don't have a few more minutes. What do you need specifically?
The power output would be way too much for this tiny thing to do. Do you have possibly a replacement core?
Does it only take one specific size, or does anyone work?
Anyone, honestly, I think.
You said it was in the heart of one of those camas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I have the heart in a little pouch that I sewed out of its leather. Or, not necessarily leather, but like in its skin, in its skin.
Oh, neat. Hand it.
Okay.
Okay, just got, Oh, okay, thank you.
I thought you said humans couldn't hear it.
They're not supposed to. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, me neither. Ugh, God. Ugh. Okay. So, how long should that do?
Oh, only should do some minor damage to their eardrums.
My ears are a little bit ringy. You mind repeating that?
It should only deal a little bit of damage to their eardrums. So much so that they can't necessarily rely on it too much. It'll take a while to heal. Although, I haven't studied their healing abilities. Also, wow, this baby has a lot of juice. Thanks.
You're welcome. So, were the two dead? Over there. As Izuku sees two corpses of Tokura and Salu. Salu was apparently a name that his father had chosen for him as a joke. You know, because the wife sneezed and he said Salu. And that was just written on his birth certificate. It was kind of funny and he was made fun of for it, but Izuku never really cared. Izuku didn't really care about their quirks, but they were still allies nonetheless. So after Izuku put his hands together a little bit and moved on to go outside, he saw that the moon was almost dipping down. It'd probably be another 30 minutes till the sun started peering up. Izuku looked around with the sling in hand as he saw one of the clickers banging its head against the wall over and over again. It was apparently focused on the sound that it heard, which was from its own banging. And then others pounced on it. They were too reliant on their hearing. But once they smelt a whiff of human, Izuku, they looked at him. There were 18 of them. Apparently, Salu and Tokura had taken down a few, along with Bako and the other two, but Izuku couldn't find the other two. He didn't know where they were, or if they were even still alive. From what the other two looked like, with their cuts streamed like holiday femurs, or what's called, whatever those Philly things were where you tied them to the ceiling. Izuku doubted that they were still alive. He swung and let go of the sling as a rock came crashing into one of their skull. Izuku heard a satisfying crunch. But it didn't pierce the skull. It only cracked it.
He must have had incredibly thick skulls, especially for that one to keep on ramming its head. Izuku ran. They couldn't hear his footsteps in the sand, and along with their impaired hearing, they were only following his scent. If he could lose that, then he could lose them. Izuku had wiped it off before because he didn't want to, well, catch a cold. Because they didn't have modern medicine, and that'd essentially be a death sentence without proper rest. Or vitamin C, which they didn't necessarily have access to. That's what they rated a pharmacy. But that wasn't important right now. Izuku was running for his life. He did his usual thing of barely bobbing with most of his energy going to moving forward. He was actually a little bit faster than them with their impaired hearing. And if only he could lose that scent, it'd be way easier. But for now, he could only run. He did, however, take advantage of the situation and grab a few rocks and continue swinging and slinging those things into their skulls. He took down 4 of them that way, but he eventually ran out of things to throw. Because, well, he couldn't find large enough debris. Yeah, apparently, the newbie took most of it on her early days. But Izuku kept running nonetheless. He found a small weak point, and, well, he hit it. Then a cabinet came crashing down onto 3 of them. It pinned them to the ground. Izuku ran as far as he could, or as fast as he could while they were still focusing on that. He needed to fight back and fast, mainly because he was losing speed, and feeling a little bit winded. He hadn't actually expected that last one to work. He had a few seconds, so he took out his knife and turned around. All he could do was slit the throat of 2 of them. He ran fast, actually. They were eating their own. Why were they eating their own instead of going after him? Well, the nutritional value of 2 bodies is much more than 1 well-fed one. And they did seem to eat frequently. But Izuku had to... No, he had to run. What else could he do? He was tired. Every breath he took felt like fire in his lungs. His muscles started burning. He couldn't stop, though. He just couldn't. And worst of all, he didn't know where the rest of his group was. Maybe they took his advice and ran. If they did, good for them. Not so good for him, though. Izuku quickly covered his ears, screaming in pain. It started bleeding, actually. His left eardrum. It started bleeding. While he looked at the rest of the clickers, they were writhing in pain as he felt something collide with the back of his, well, shoulder. It landed in his hand. It was one of their skulls. Only thing was, it had a drilled hole in it, and it looked like it was kind of a boxing glove. Izuku quickly slipped it on as he felt the comfy padding inside. It was most likely the clothes of Tokuda and... Oh. This was Bago and the newbies' attempt on helping. They couldn't do much. I mean, they made that clear on how scared they were. But Izuku was scared too. But with that thing on his right arm, he ran towards the other clickers and started punching. He was actually doing damage to them. He went for mainly body shots. The skull is the hardest part of the human body, and it was also true for them. But only their bones were fragile. A lot more fragile than Izuku had thought. Most of the calcium they must absorb probably go to their skulls, which means that they're brittle. Izuku caved in several of their chests until there were only 5 left. Then they got up and started smelling for him, but he was covered in the rest of their blood. They couldn't tell which was which. They couldn't see. They couldn't hear. His haggard breaths were silenced by the ringing in all of their ears. Izuku couldn't help but smile at that little fact. Why was he smiling? Why was he enjoying himself? 2 people died because of them. Why was he smiling in spite of that? Was it some weird, messed up attempt in order to reassure himself and the others that everything's okay? Or was he finally going off the deep end? Was he finally losing it? But either way, Izuku grabbed the chain. They couldn't hear it over the ringing in their ear, mainly because Izuku couldn't hear it either. And his sense of hearing was a lot more dull than them. And God knows that thing did damage. He wrapped the chain around one of their arms and tugged it towards another. The two collided, and the rest pounced on the one that was, well, who they assumed was Izuku. Misdirection. A powerful tool. Izuku joined in and, well, took down a third one. They had gone at each other like rabid animals. There were only 2 left. They were scared. Izuku could take both of them if he wanted. It'd be easy. All he had to do was cave in their rib cages, make sure it pierced their lungs. Why was he enjoying this? Why was he so happy? Was it because he was finally getting revenge for them? Or was it because, for some sick, twisted reason, he enjoyed the thrill of the hunt? In a way, the way that they hunted him, he struck back harder. But then he heard something faint. His hearing was coming back, which means theirs was too. He heard something building up, a pop, as he ducked for cover. A huge burst of purple liquid came out of an eye. One of them had an eye. Was it a mutation? Was this one perhaps later? Was this one the equivalent of their super breed? Was this one... Did this one have a quirk? Izuku looked at it. It had a giant eye. It closed it, of course, because, well, it lacked depth perception, and it only had one eye. It most likely only used it for attacks. It relied on the rest of its senses like the others, but it probably did help. Izuku ran towards it. Its hearing wasn't as damaged as the rest. It was hiding. It was waiting for him to lower his guard, for him to turn his back, for him to be overconfident like he was before. It was a mistake. It was a mistake to be so happy. It opened its eye again. Izuku uppercutted it in the jaw. The beam went bursting up as a rain of purple appeared as Izuku dug his hand into its eye socket and pulled and pulled and pulled until eventually the eyeball popped out. It's over. It's over. It's over. Izuku's arm fractured. He wasn't hit. He wasn't hit. How did it... How is his right arm fractured? When he punched, he made direct contact with the skull. Sure, there was padding from clothes, but it wasn't enough. He put too much force into the hit. It fractured his forearm. This would probably cause a few issues later on, if it wasn't treated. But as long as Izuku didn't use it or put too much pressure, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Maybe just a little bit of pain here and there. Or no pain at all, actually. But he was ambidextrous, so that was a good thing. He drained its blood and took a small... Oh, that is poison. That is pure poison. Ah, I feel sick. Nothing too bad.
Deku,
Yeah? You okay? I have a fracture in my forearm, but other than that, I'm good. You need you need a sling? Probably. I yeah, that help. All right. How long do you think? Maybe a week, or what's the bare minimum time for this thing to heal or be okay? For a normal human, I think it's about 6 to 8 weeks. uh, Luckily, one of our group has a healing quark, right? Yeah, they do. Okay. Would normally take weeks of recovery. Would only take maybe a day or two, right? Well, the thing is, they're back at camp. Oh, okay, well, that's a little bit of an inconvenience. Yeah, well, at the debacle, they were, yeah, no, it's fine. No, because of their quirk, they probably go into the medical field. They might know about this. Alright, let me help you. Let me give you a, take my, what's it called? Jacket. Thanks. So, can I have that? Nope. When you can, I'm keeping this one. I'm keeping this one and its blood. Oh, booey. Okay, well, can I at least have the others? Yeah, sure. I want their skulls, though. They'll make great armor. Then they grabbed 2 buckets of salt water and went off. They'd lost 2 members, but they did gain one. And they're choosing to focus on the positives, because honestly, if they didn't, they'd be really depressed. It took them a few hours of daylight to get back. And it was actually a lot clearer and easier to move during the day. The only issue is that they spent 3 hours hiding. Which, when compared to the amount of time that it originally took, is still faster, but a lot riskier. They arrived at camp after a total of 4 hours. It was still light out, but some of them were still awake. Hey, I'm back. You mind having someone fix me up? the, our teacher. What? Our teacher has a healing quirk. Doesn't one of the students? They died. Ooh. Yeesh, how? Well, let me show you. As the person brings them to a room where the teacher is awake with kindergartners and an adult. Sugu came in saying, "Hey, you mind fixing me up? We got the scrap metal. We got everything we need." His hands were shaking. Might have been a slight effect of the poison, or maybe it was finally hitting him. 2 people died. And it wasn't just a big group, it was 2 people that he knew. 2 people that he didn't particularly care about all that much. Sano and Tokuda, but he was sad nonetheless. He couldn't let that show on his face, though. He just pushed through the pain. While it was healing, they had to reset the bone. The thing was, with the teacher's quirk, it did require only nutrients, and apparently not that much energy. I was a wonder why she wasn't a part of the medical field. Maybe there was some deathly side effect or something. You know, my quirk causes quirk malfunctions. Caused it when I was little. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. And because of that, I never got into the medical field. I was scared. Okay. Well, luckily I'm quirkless, so you can heal me up as much as you need. Thank you. Listen, with the other one dead, you're essentially our white mage, and nobody fucks with the white mage. Wow, aren't you the charmer? Thank you. As Izuku's arm is actually healed. They had to reset the bone once, and it was painful as shit, but he was still healed. He went back into the room with all the kids. They were a little bit rowdy. There was There was 10 of them. Normally a class had about 12, 18 kids, but there were only 10. Izuku went to the skull of the Kama that he killed. He put it on and started whittling at, well, the bones of the clickers. He'd always wondered what it'd be like to feel pure and utter bliss. He felt that when he was fighting with the clickers, when he had them cornered and they were scared. Did that mean something? Was he enjoying their pain because they caused him so much? Or was he just excited due to the adrenaline? He didn't know, and he definitely didn't want to find out. While that happens, he set the salt water to boil. As soon as it finished it, he'd crush it down into its grainy parts so they could shove down as much bad food as they want so it's barely palatable. And salt goes well with some of the other stuff, too. It's been taken for granted since such good quality salt is so easily bought at the supermarket. Speaking of which, they might have to rate a few for bread and other stuff because it might spoil. And again, most of the supermarkets that they entered were mostly empty. There was a cookie once, but Izuku didn't really care about it, and the rest played Rochambeau for it. Believe it or not, Togeda won. You see, his rock fist was his main move, and people thought that, then he switched up with scissors. It was, honestly, kind of nice. Some of the kids pull at him and ask him what's going on and where their parents are. He couldn't look at them and lie. It'd be wrong and stupid. I don't know. They might be dead. Or they could be at UA, a safe zone. Listen, I'm not by any means strong, but I'll ensure that all of you get there. I promise. Making promises that you can keep isn't good. Oh, really? And what makes you an expert at that? My parents said that they'd come home to me. Oh. Shit. They dead? Yeah. They were heroes, and they threw their lives away. Nah, I get it. My dad's dead too. My mom? I'm not sure, actually. She might be dead. Oh well, can't really focus on that now. Can only focus on moving forward, am I right? How can you do it so easily? Easy! I'm crazy. There's nothing really much to it. I do the same thing over and over again, expecting the different results. That is the definition of insanity. Also, why is that thing boiling? And why aren't you stopping it? Aren't you making stew or something? Salt! What? I'm making salt. It's in order to help with cooking and curing some meat. We'll also have to smoke some, if I'm gonna be honest. Izuku takes a small swig out of the bottle of poisonous blood. Eventually he wanted to build up an immunity. Better than that, it actually made him feel a little bit numb all over. It was nice. Maybe this was alcoholism. You're weird. I know, I'm corkless. I have to be weird compared to all of you. Wait, what? You're corkless? Yup. But they all speak so highly of you. They say you're a god. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, they said you're like a god. With the way you move, the way you punch, the way you do stuff. And how you keep all of them safe. I am by no means a god. Sweet merciful Buddha, why?
Hey, Deku.
Yes.
We're gonna have a prayer session.
Okay, and?
Are you gonna answer the prayers?
You mother yucker! As Margot leaves. I swear if I wasn't working on something important, I'd wreck your shit. Divine justice on your ass. Is that innuendo? How do you know what an innuendo is? Spiky hair. Okay, I'm gonna have words with him. By words, do you mean actual conversation? Yes. Okay. So, what's your whole shtick? Save them so they'll be grateful? No. Save them so they can live another day. Not much to it but to do it. I really can't afford any more losses. You know, from the way they talked to you, I thought you were some arrogant jackass with a good quirk. Turns out you're quirkless, having dreams of being a hero. But you're just a fake, like all the rest of them. Whoa! Whoever said I wanted to be one of those douchebags? Listen, if people treat heroes as if they're gods, they kiss the ground that they walk on. I don't want that shit. I'm a Marine through and through. I'm cannon fodder, a soldier. Someone meant to die so so everyone else can live. What's a Marine? Division of the U.S. military, but I like to think of it as above sea creature. What? Sorry, it's just an inside joke that I had with my dad. Well, I didn't really know my parents that much, so don't really have any of those. Anything they gave to you? The hat? Oh, matching. Look, horns. That is the skull of a ginormous reptile. I call them camas, mainly because their main tactic is ambushing with their camouflage. They apparently slightly electrify the mucus on their bodies in order to turn semi-invisible by bending the light around them. What? It's biology stuff. It's complicated. The point is, yeah. Izuku continues working on it, and he just answers their questions. It was nice. He was happy. Why was he happy? He shouldn't be happy. 2 people he knew died. He was supposed to be sad. Why was he so quickly cheered up? Did their deaths mean nothing to him? Was he just getting used to it? I mean, sure, a teacher died on the first day and he didn't really care. I mean, why would he? The teacher didn't care about him, but they were different. They willingly put their lives on the line. They didn't argue like the teacher did. They were part of his group. Friends, even. So why doesn't he care? Was he just that numb? That desensitized? Was he even human anymore? What defined being human, anyways? Izuku blew on the little hole that he made. Okay, that's done. He made a glove. It's something that should help. And he put a lot more padding into his gloves. He planned on making armor. Something to protect him. Something to protect others while they were asleep. While the domes of most of these creatures are very strong. Sorry. They were still having weak points. But the clickers, they didn't have eye sockets. At least most of them didn't. For that last one, Izuku preserved it for his right hand. And once he left the room, he saw a new person. Not new as in the sense of, oh, the newbie, but new as in something that he didn't know. Who are you? Fumi.
Fumi Todoroki.
Nice to meet you, Fumi. Formalities are basically null and void here. Call me Deku.
Is that your name? Doesn't that mean either idiot, worthless, or...
Listen, the kanjis are confusing, alright? Just call me Deku. My actual name is Suzuki Midoriya, but... So, you're essentially the one who can keep those in check. I'm making armor, and, well, from all the skills I got from those clickers, I think I'm ready.
For what?
To move out. To move on in this world. Make our trek to UA. I apparently misjudged how far it was. It's gonna take another 2 weeks if we keep moving at this pace. But with our new equipment, we should be okay. Also, one of them is very sassy. I like him. That's Koda. He lost his parents when he was young. And I lost my father. Oh, I'm sorry? Nah, it's fine. He killed himself. No, not what it sounds like. Not what it sounds like. He ran in to save someone and died in an explosion.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. He died on his own terms. And I feel like somehow that's influenced me. Oh, well. Anyways, I'm gonna take a small nap so I'll have some energy. I'm tired. Fighting an entire horde can do that to you. Hey, Bakugo, I'm gonna give you a small talking to. Uh-oh. Quick, everyone, pray for my safety. Maybe he'll listen. God damn it! Don't you mean you, damn it? Haha! Anyways, that's gonna leave it off. They make jokes about Deku being a god or the a messiah or whatever. They're one beacon of hope and light. Okay, later, everyone.
Holy crap, this thing is over an hour long. Neat!